welcome. Good morning, at least here in Sweden, but depending on where you are in the world, it could be good evening or good afternoon or even good night. A warm welcome to our Learnifier live customer webinar. These are webinars for you, our customers, to get you updated on the latest news and also get a glimpse into the future of what's coming up ahead, i.e. what we are doing here to make life more easy and fun when you work with Learnifier. And also for you to get to see some of the faces behind the scenes. Some practicalities. This webinar will be 45 minutes long. It will be fast-paced. Feel free to write questions in the chat throughout, and we have some Learnifiers in the chat, and we'll try to answer these questions in real time. And if we can't do that, then we will get back to you afterwards with some answers. We are recording this, so if you want to see some parts of it again or share with some colleagues, you will be able to do so. So before I hand over the word now to my talented colleagues, let's just have a quick look at the agenda for today. So we're going to start with a few words from our CEO and co-founder Matthias, an update on what's going on. Then we are going into seeing what is happening with our latest features presented by our product manager, Mona Jönsson. And then we're going to dive into some of these latest news. And we're going to start with something that I know many of you are excited about, which is the new survey builder. Then we're going to go into the next one, which is the catalog administrator tool. That will be presented by our product manager, Mona. And then finally, we are going to be looking at the waitlist feature, which will be presented by our product designer, Philip Lekström. And I was going to say also the survey builder in the beginning will be presented by Klobben Norman, our developer. And then at the end, we're going to wrap things up and we're going to look into the future and what we are working on next. So then we are ready, I guess, to get this show on the road, as they say. So I will hand over now to you, Matthias, from our new offices in Stockholm at Torsgatan.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, and good morning or good day to all of you. Great seeing you all here. Excited to see what we have to bring you today in terms of new product functionalities and features. So not going to be too lengthy at the start there, but rather dive into today's agenda. But I just want to say a few words. We are still a company that is really focused on our mission here. And I always bring this up, especially in relation to when we do product development, because our mission around making training easy, gaining and efficient to achieve business outcomes is something that we always tie back to when we do development in our product. So we think about how is this going to make things easier? How is this going to make things more engaging? How is this going to make things more efficient? And that is something that, as we always start a project, it's something that we have in mind and think about and really try to focus our efforts on. So just want to come back to that one and bring that up. Another important thing that I want to mention is that we're at a phase as a company where we are continuing to grow, obviously together with you, our customers. And actually, we almost doubled the team last year. And I mentioned this also when we met, a few of us met in November. We are continuing to invest heavily in the product. We're actually having ambitions to double the product and engineering team this year in 2023. And obviously that is with the ambition to continue to both improve what we have in the product, but also to continue and innovate and bring new capabilities, I would say, into the product and into the services that we offer to you. So hopefully we will be able to continue to present to you in these live events, both improvements, but also new major steps that we're making in our products and our services. So excited to get back and talk more about that. But now the focus is really on growing the team and making sure that we internally have more capacity to make new exciting things and bring them to you. So today we're going to dive into the things that we've been working on for the last 3 months. So many of you have probably already seen this, but I just want to emphasize that we do work in 4 policies during the year, and that is also to make it hopefully easier for you to follow up on what has been done in the product. Because as you might know, we more or less do daily releases and updates to the product. But when it comes to larger changes, for example, today we're going to look at the catalog administration, which is a major change. It requires a lot of planning and training to be rolled out. Then we synchronize that so that it's released on a specific date, so that you can know and plan for it, etc. Today is one of those days. It's February 15th, and it is the live event of the Winter Pulse Winter 2022. So that is what we're going to look at today, and obviously also at the end of today's show, peek into what we're going to work on during the Spring Pulse. But enough from me, and now let's dive into the meaty part of today's agenda, and I want to hand it over to our product manager, Mona, who is our product development efforts, and tell you more about what we've been working on. So over to you, Mona.
Thank you, Matthias. I am really excited to show you the big 3 pieces we are focusing on today, because some of this has been a work we've been working on for quite a bit. And we're super proud to be able to roll this out to you guys and have you guys dive into these new features and functions. So we have some big releases coming up. We have, for instance, our new survey builder that was actually released this Monday. So if you have been in building a new survey or a quiz since this Monday afternoon, you might have seen a completely new and refreshed UI. So this one is already out and live, and with the survey builder release, we also had a minor update in the UA for our quiz builder, which we released in the previous pulse, our fall pulse, I think, fall 22 pulse. Feels like that was forever ago. But yeah, that is out and ready for you guys to dive into. So that's really exciting. Our other 2 big releases that are upcoming is our catalog administrator tool. And if you have joined us in previous lives, you have had some sneak peeks into this one. This is where we're now kind of giving you with a service or a place to manage and organize and kind of really build your catalog display for your learners, since we know that's very important in how you present courses to learners and get them enticed about learning. You now have a experience where you can kind of manage it and set it up the way it fits you and your company needs and your learners' needs. So this is a big one, and it's super exciting to be able to roll this out. This will be rolled out to our beta customers by the end of next week. And then we'll come back to you all with a specific date, where we roll it out to everybody with the catalog function. So just bear with us on that one. And with the catalog administrator tool, our 3rd piece will be a waitlist feature. This is where we have a dedicated feature for putting learners, or learners can put themselves, I should say, onto a waitlist for a course. But it also involves the admin's surface of managing that waitlist with some dashes of auto communication to save you guys some time and effort, so you don't have to spend all your time moving and communicating around changes in a list, for instance. So we'll dive into the functionality of all 3 of these, and we're going to kick it off with our survey builder. So for our survey builder, the scope for this was similar to our quiz effort that we did in our previous pulse. So we basically wanted to give you guys a clearer and more purposeful flow when building a survey or editing an existing survey. Give you guys a little simpler flow, so that when you do your edits and build a new survey, that it will be much easier to navigate, but also a new refreshed and updated UI for this. We also have a consistent user. It provides these updates will provide a consistent user experience. So again, with this release of this survey builder, you will see the updates also reflected in the quiz builder, so they look alike regardless of which app you are in editing and building. But with tying that to our learner catalog that we also released previously, you're now starting to see the full new UI and look and feel of the Learnifier product, which is super exciting. And you will also see that as part of the catalog admin tool. So we're starting to connect all these UI experiences into a new refreshed interface. So yeah, it does provide a more consistent user experience, which is always great when you kind of feel at home and you recognize actions and buttons and such, regardless of where you are in the product. With this effort, we also updated the code base. So we're kind of laying the foundation to add some really interactive and engaging capabilities in the future. For instance, adding on some more question types that are more interactives, that will be coming up. Like now we have done the base for that, so we can actually support that. But also, for instance, some of the settings and for actual quizzes and surveys, allowing a specific time for or number of attempts for a user to take a survey, for instance. So that is all in the future, but we're now ready. We have a good kickoff place for getting there, which is just super exciting. And again, this server builder is part of all the price plans, so everybody should be able to go and see this and the quiz builder. Enough of me talking. I'm sure you guys are chomping at the bits to see what does it look like. So I will pass it over to our front-end developer, Klobbe, to show you the ins and outs. Over to you, Klobbe.
Thank you, Mona. Hey, everyone. I'm just gonna see if I manage to share my screen properly. All right. Do everyone see dogs?
Yes, I do.
Yay,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, so first off, I'd like to thank everyone of the customers who shared feedback on the quiz builder that was released, as Mona mentioned, before Christmas in the previous pulse. And with that feedback, we've iterated and also, as mentioned, added UX or user experience and user interface improvements also to the survey builder. So the new things that I'd like to show you today is the way we're like randomizing questions is now handled through this beautiful toggle where you have this beautiful plus minus button to select how many questions basically to randomize within a section. Along with this, selecting a question type is now done through this drop-down. And if I, for some reason, would like to ask you which dog is the best according to you, at a later stage, you can now reorder the questions within sections by clicking on up or down arrows. Oh, yeah. So I guess that's about it. Looking forward to have more users play around with it, and always open to receive and review feedback to further improvements.
Great.
With that, I guess, Mona, yeah, back to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Klobbe. That was a great demo. I think that is great improvements done. It's almost hard to remember what was there before, to be honest. So it was super exciting to hear how you guys find the new survey builder and quiz builder. All right, with that, let's pivot over to our catalog administrator tool. And this is kind of where, again, it's a new kind of setup for us, which is super cool. I think this will be really helpful for the people who have a catalog and really want to manage it and make it really snazzy and very purposeful for the learners. So the current problem with this was a little bit that our current catalog tab is was holding all the projects kind of updating with thumbnails and titles, but also the catalog pieces. So you would build a course, set it up the way you wanted to display in the catalog, all in the same little tab, and then shove it over to the catalog. You would have to go in and see how it looks in the catalog by navigating to the learner view and kind of tabbing back and forth. Not the clearest workflow always. So we kind of sat down and took in a lot of feedback and thought through this quite a bit. And the first piece that this tool will help kind of address is separating the catalog or the course landing page or the course building part for the catalog setup piece. We're introducing some new permissions with this. So you will also have the ability to just have people build courses and push them into the catalog versus having some dedicated person managing the actual catalog. But it does provide a simpler flow and it simplifies definitely the workspace and the actions that you need to take and what you're doing when you're building out both the course landing page and the actual catalog. We have that with the dedicated catalog administrator role. So that will be something you guys can select who you want to have as that role. If you want everybody to have it, that's up to you. But there is a good point to have someone managing it all. It's kind of if you think of your catalog as a store window, you will have someone being out there displaying the mannequins and dressing them up and posing them very nicely for your learners to get interested in the course offerings that you have. A third piece tying into the catalog administrator, and I think this is much wanted, you will now be empowered to build your own categories, name them, structure them, delete them, put courses in them, put collections in them, however you want to kind of set up these categories to fit you and your learners' needs. You can do that. Previously, you would have to reach out to our customer service, which have been so great to setting up all these categories for everybody. But we're kind of saying, all right, let's put that function into your hands so that you guys can decide to do these buildings. With the categories, we now also give you an ability to expand or build categories with subcategories 4 levels down. So you can definitely organize and structure your course offerings more than just in a base category. You can kind of expand upon them and really start to manage and organize the content the way you feel that they should be presented. Fourthly, we have our collections, which is our new course grouping ability. And this is where, based on previous feedback, it was a little hard to connect courses that belong together somehow. There's a lot of customer needs here. Some people want to group them together based on location. Some wants to group them together based on course type. Some wants to just group a few courses like a level 1, level 2, level 3 together because you need to take those and they kind of belong together, and kind of communicating that to the learner so that they can see that, okay, if I get into this collection, these are the courses that belong together and I need to take them in this order, or this is at least the course offering I need to take. And with this, the last piece of this kind of ties into the survey builder and the quiz builder. We're providing a more intuitive and updated user interface. It will connect and you will see the same actions and icons and buttons, and the functionality will be the same as in our quiz builder, survey builder, and the learner catalog. So it's starting to really come into its own new theme for us. So that's really exciting. And for the catalog administration tool, this will be part of both the enterprise, or it will be part of the enterprise plan with the option to have add-on for a professional. And just to kind of give you guys a visual of what we have currently and what we're going to take a peek at. So this is what we have now, where you update your course thumbnails and all of these course-related things, as well as the catalog and self-registration, all under one tab. Not the easiest to kind of get into if you are a beginner. So I'm hoping what you will see will be much clearer and much more separated out with a purposeful direction. And with that, I will pass it over to myself, as I will be the one demoing the course catalog. So let's see if I can get it up and running. Great. I'm hoping everybody can see my screen. And you're now in the project overview or course overview. So if you've been in the product, which I assume most of you guys have, this is where I have just built a project, basically. Now I kind of want to set up how this should be displayed for learners when they go, how do I get them interested in this course? What kind of image should I use? What kind of title should I have? What should the description say? We now, as you can see, if you remember the previous picture I just showed you with the catalog tab, where there is a lot of toggles and a lot of little functionality on one page, this is now the new catalog tab, which is much shorter. And so it's a little bit easier to figure out what I'm doing and where I need to go to do what actions. We have a edit the course page, which I will dive into shortly. We have a little toggle that will determine if the course will be sent into the catalog for the catalog admin to manage. And then we have our registration. So this is similar to the self-registration. I want to call out that nothing has changed for that functionality. We have it as it was previously. You will still be able to register through a link and so forth, but much more condensed, and I dare say a little bit more clear on this page. So I'm now building my course and I'm going, okay, I want to set this up and get this, catch the interest of my learners. So basically, I go into the course landing page. And as you see, I've cheated a little bit. I have already added a description, but it's fairly simple. Just click on the description parts and you'll have your editor. You can start adding what you want to add, what information is important for the learners to see around this course. Just save that. We have a toggle for participation. If you want to show the participants that are enrolled in the course in the catalog for the learners, then you can switch that on and off. We have the ability to change the background image, which at the moment doesn't sit as much. So I'm going to choose a perkier background and let me see what I have. Let's go with some nice peaceful water. That's always calming. Let's apply changes. And then I have my save button tucked below my screen. Excuse me for 1 second, just to move that out of the way. There we go. And now once it comes in and up, we have our image background. Same goes for the course thumbnail. You can go in, upload an image, making sure that it represents what you want it to be, eye-catching for the learner. So yeah, this is basically the course landing page. And I do want to preface that what you see me demoing right now is in a testing environment. So there will be the team is still tweaking some of these things. So I just want to call that out. This is not the full release product. So with this, if I only have like the course building permissions, so to say, I can go to this page and then I can go back to the project admin and kind of navigate between the two. So if I do have the correct permissions to be the catalog administrator, then I can navigate to that page from the course header or the client header, I should say. You see there's a new tab here, the catalog builder. So Fortunately, that means I have permissions to do this. When clicking on that, you will see something similar-ish to what you see on the learner view, but here is the actual building view. And this is where all the magic happens when you come to building out this catalog display. Here we can add our categories. As you can see, I've added quite a few. You can go in, we can do, we will have Learnifier Live. That's what we call our categories. Trying to see, there it is. I click on that category and I can start building out subcategories. So here I can say winter. I can type and talk at the same time. That would be great. Winter pulse. That would be my next category. I want to add another subcategory. I can do that. If I want to go a level deeper, I simply click on my subcategory winter pulse and I can start saying this is the recordings. We'll create a subcategory for recordings. I can create a subcategory for whatever else I want to do related to this, and however else I want these courses to be displayed for my learners. Going back to the main catalog page, when you have your categories up and running, you can easily view them, rename them, or delete them. So you can kind of shuffle these things around a little bit and get them to where you need it. Usually it takes some thought to get to the end result for this, because it's kind of exciting to have categories, but it's also good to figure out how you want to structure these. So yeah, categories, super cool, super exciting. I hope you guys build a ton of them and get them named and sorted and all so that you can present the content the way you want your learners to find them. Below, you can see the projects page. And basically, if you remember me being on the catalog tab, where I said the little toggle would push the course into the catalog or not, this is where the course will appear, and it will appear inactive by default. So me as the catalog admin would have to go and make it visible to the learners if I want that. But if there is a course that has not been pushed into the catalog, I can also go and fetch it by selecting the client I want to fetch it from and the actual course that I want to grab it from and pull it into the catalog, so to say. As you can see, we have our courses, all the courses I have built and pushed into the catalog, but we also have something called collections, which I will show you in a short minute. If I'm in here and I'm seeing, okay, this course, wait, this is not the picture I would like for it to have, I can easily go back to the course landing page, do my edits, save it, come back into the catalog, and my new updated course tile will be here and displayed correctly. We then have our collections piece, where this is where the grouping, the new grouping capability comes in. This is where you can group courses based on, again, location, however you think they belong together. Simply add a collection, name it. And then you can find your course. For instance, I will just push. I know the names are not necessarily what I want to do, but just as an example, adding it into this collection, and we should have it on the page right here. We can go in, we can change the settings on this, and there's quite a bit of functionality for you to go through and determine. But I think the main one here is this is where I decide which category I want this collection and or course to belong. So I can select one, I can select several. I can select many different categories that I want either this collection or this course to belong to, which is kind of nifty if you have, for instance, an onboarding course or a ethics and management course that everybody has to take, regardless of what. You can very swiftly get them into the necessary categories. What more do we have here? I'm thinking we've gone through the lot. What I didn't necessarily kind of cover is you do have the ability on the collection page. So similar to the course page, you have a collection page where you can choose how this will be displayed to your learners. Again, this collection, this package, this bundle, whatever you want to call it, what courses should be in it, and what should the image be, what should the title be, should it be active, should it not? You have all those goodies and settings right on the collection page. So giving you a lot of tools to function with. And I know this could be a little daunting because this is very different from the current setup. But I think this is a very, it really will empower you to build a catalog that fits your need and presents your content to your learners in a super exciting way and in a manner that you guys can be really proud of. And this is, of course, something we're going to continue to develop. We're going to add more functionality, more cool features to it as we go. We already have gotten some good feedback from customers around these pieces, but I think this is an excellent start to have and for you guys to land in. And with that, I feel like I can talk about this all day, but I'm going to stop and I'm going to go back to our next feature. So I'm going to pass it. I'm going to go back actually. So Mattias.
Yes, you'll head back. Thank you, Mona. Great seeing that. And as you said, it can be a bit daunting to see all of this new, but obviously, as you also said, we will work with a few of you to start getting this roll out already next week and get you accustomed to it before you launch it. Also very exciting to see. I'm very excited to see the kind of the new UI playing out, much cleaner, and that is actually now happening in the product. So get an update to the visuals, and obviously as part of making it easier to work in the product. But let's move on, as you said, let's move on to the third piece, Mona. So I'll pass it back to you again to at least introduce the waitlist capabilities.
Great, thank you very much, Mattias. And I'm back. So let's dive into our last and third and last feature. This is our waitlist feature, where we're now providing a surface of managing like interest in a course, basically. So the waitlist features have some really good value to offer. First piece will be that it will provide administrators with good insights around what courses are popular and in high demand. So basically a learning tool, if you would say, that would help you understand what course offerings that are popular and then allow you to take the appropriate action of maybe adding more sections to a course or expanding that specific course offering so that you can address all your learners' needs and desires and wants to be into that specific course. So that's a really, really cool piece, I think, for admins. It will help you gauge your interest or the interest of your participants into the course offerings. It would also help your participants make it'll give them a better chance to take a specific class, and it will optimize the course offerings for that by just what I said, being able to see that, oh, okay, I have 100 people on the wait list for this one course. Maybe I should open up another section or offer it at a specific spot, or add on, a following course for it. So it will kind of let the participants get into these courses much better, get their course needs met much better, I should say. We also, true to Learnifier, are leveraging our automated communications feature. So in order to alleviate some management time from the administrator, we provide the ability to automatically communicate to participants when they are moved off that wait list and get a seat into the class, kind of saying, hey, Philip, you are now off the wait list. You have a place in the course. Welcome. It starts at this point in time. Excited to have you, kind of thing. So that will be that would be really cool. And we have a really strong automated communications engine. That's a mouthful. That we are using for this, again, in an effort to save you some time and some management. Then this waitlist feature will also bring the benefit for learners in that it will allow them to plan much better for their learning schedule. So if I have an interest in a course, I see that it's full, but I can add myself to the wait list. I can then continuously check in to see if I've moved up the wait list or if I'm still sitting as number 5 out of 10 and I haven't moved up. Then I can go in and find another course that might better fit the time frame of this, and then maybe come back and take this course at another time. So just kind of help them plan their learning schedule and learning path a little better. And this waitlist function has 2 contingencies, actually. So one, you will have to have the enterprise plan. You can get it as an add-on from Professional, but it will come with the enterprise level, on the enterprise level. And second is you would have to have the new catalog enabled. And when I mean the new catalog, I say the catalog admin tool enabled for this feature to be available to you. So it will be rolled out in contingency with those 2 parameters for those customers. First the betas and then for everybody at a date to be revealed at a future date. And I notice I'm running out of English quickly. So before I jump off the deep end and start going into Swinglish, I'm going to pass over to our awesome product designer, Philip, to show you the ins and out of this really cool new feature. So over to you, Philip. Take it away.
Thanks, Mona. Yes, let me see if I can move this away. Maybe I can. Okay. Yeah, so a project. We all know projects, and we have the participant tab over here. So I'm just going to do like a walkthrough of how the new waitlist sort of works. Let me see if I can move this away here. Yeah. Yes. So yeah, for example, I have 1 participant in this project over here, and now we have a new tab over here called the waitlist, and this one is currently inactive. And in order to sort of activate it, you need to first set a participation limit on this course that you're going to have. So if I, for example, say that there's only allowed to be 1 person in the course at the time. So yeah, what happens now is that I can now sort of, it's available, but it's not enabled. So I now sort of need to configure, like, how do I want this waitlist to sort of work automatically? So there's some descriptions over here, which you can read later on, but for now, I'm just going to switch it on. You can set a sort of a deadline on when the waitlist should sort of stop accepting new entries into the waitlist. That's optional, so you don't have to do that. And here you can sort of say, I want, I don't know, maybe 16 seats, like the queue numbers in the waitlist. And yeah, if we move to the next one. Here for the visibility, so there are either 2 ways to do it. Either you have like a general feedback to the learner saying that, yeah, okay, welcome to the waitlist, you're on the waitlist, but you don't sort of say which number they have in the line. But you can also decide to show that to the learner as well. So it could be then, for example, you're number 7 on the waitlist. I'm going to go with that one for now. For the communication, that part is still done under the communication tab. But we'll develop this further down in the future. And then you have sort of a summary here saying that, yeah, this is what you sort of configured. Are you okay with it? I say, yeah, it looks good. Let's go for it. Then I save it. So now it's active, which means that as a learner now, so I'm switching perspective. As a learner, I would, for example, see, yeah, this course page, but now with the waitlist on, I would know that, okay, the course is full, but I have the ability to join the waitlist as well. So as a learner, if I then click join the waitlist, in this case, I can see, okay, I'm number 1 on the waitlist. Awesome. And this will also be reflected here on my courses as well. So you can see that, yeah, I'm waiting in line. Hopefully soon they will accept my application. So so if I accept myself, I can see that, yeah, someone called Philip has enrolled themselves to the waitlist via the course catalog. And then, yeah, I can then, if a seat opens up over here, so for example, if this person is removed from the list, or there's a new seat available, this person in the wait list will then automatically be sort of pushed into the participant list. And I'm not going to show you what happens if I add a user as an admin. So for example, there's a limit to how many participants can join this course, but I still want to add people to the list. So for example, I search for this Philip again, add him to the list, and it says, oh, the project limit is reached, the user has been added to the wait list. So as I head over to the wait list, I can see that, oh yeah, I have now been added to the wait list, or Philip has been added to the wait list. And let's see, yeah. So that's basically how you can sort of put people in the wait list. And then as soon as spots open up in the participation list here, those waitlist users will then be automatically pushed over here. And what happens if I turn off the participation limit? I'm just saying, yeah, there's no barrier, anyone can participate. So if I switch it off, you get this little message just saying that, oh, just so you're aware, all the users in the waitlist, they will automatically be promoted to participants. So if I do that, and now check what happens over here, I can see that, yay, Philip is here, not activated. And the waitlist should be clean, there's no one here. And that's basically how the waitlist sort of works in short. So I'm going to pass it back to Matthias, I think. So over you go.
Great, thank you, Philip. Excited to see that. Exciting to get that started. So that were a bit of a demo and background on the three things that have been worked on, amongst other things, obviously, but the three major things for the last winter pulse. Let's start wrapping things up, but by talking a bit about what's going to happen in the next pulse. So that is the spring 23 pulse that is going to be released sometime in May. We'll get back to you with the date. And Mona, can you tell us what's coming, or at least parts of what's coming in the coming pulse?
Absolutely, I'll be happy to do so. So for our upcoming spring pulse, we have quite a bit of things to do, actually. But the theme of it will be improving existing features. There will be some new functionalities added, but the focus will be on expanding the features and functionalities that we currently have. One of those things would be, for instance, the manually approved event. So right now, participants would get automatically marked as completed once a classroom or virtual event has passed, the date has passed, or the time has passed. So we're going to give admins the ability to kind of control that a little bit and not just have them automatically marked as completed. So you should now be able to evaluate if the participants do meet the requirements of that event, and either have them as not passed or passed, and that will then implicate the completion of the course. So more on this to come. We also are going to offer a cross-project report. We've heard a lot of customer needs around being able to use pull a report based on a specific survey or a specific quiz. It might be a end of the course questionnaire that you're using in several projects. So we're now going to create this report where you'll be able to pull and see the results for that quiz or survey across these projects. So kind of rolling that info up to you in a manageable view. Something else that we're going to take in is providing new auto filters for the learners in the learner catalog. So we're doing all this great work with the catalog admin tool. We now also want the learners to be able to find and view the courses of their interest much easier. So we're going to give some more relevancy to the filters there. For instance, start and end date of the course, type of course like online hybrid classroom, those kinds of things. So you'll see that pop up in the learner catalog by the end of the spring pulse. Another thing we're going to look at is being able to, for admins to turn off notifications on project level. So kind of separating out the social features and the notifications so they're kind of independently, but also being able to turn those off for different projects that you prefer not going out to the learners, some of the notifications. These are just a few little bits. We actually have quite a bit of a list for this, and it's kind of exciting to chomp in and expand some of the great features that we have. A lot of this is based on good customer feedback. So I'll be very excited to come back by the end of the spring pulse and show you the plethora of improvements we will have for you at that point. So yeah, I think that short and sweet will give you a sneak peek into the upcoming pulse. So that I'll pass it back over to you, Matthias.
Well, great. Thanks, Mona. And excited to see that. I will, as I said, come back with a date on that. And we're at time, so I think I'll pass it again to Rebecca. Please wrap things up. Tell us what we can expect following today's live presentation.
Yes, Matthias, thank you. Now we're at 9:45 Swedish time at least, and we want to thank all of you who have been listening today. And we hope that you feel inspired and with a few tips and tricks up your sleeve. We will be sending out some summary of all these news to you in an email. And there will also be several blog posts and information that you can access about this. And you can also feel free to contact our customer success and support team, and we'll try and help you navigate this as well as we can. And now we just want to say, as we always do at Learnifier, that thank you, and may the learning be with you out there. So thank you so much.